John Textor believes Crystal Palace should be allowed to compete in the Europa League next season, saying that he doesn't infringe on UEFA's multi-club ownership rules.
We shouldn't talk about whether or not I have 43% vote or whether I have a 25% vote. We should talk about zero.
Yeah.
Because the document that I signed, when I signed onto the shares, says clearly I'm not entitled to have any role in management decisions.
Palace's situation in Europe is still up in the air after Lyon's appeal against relegation in France was successful. Textor was also asked about his relationship with Chairman Steve Parish.
His ambition every year is to avoid relegation. Our ambition is to climb the table. Who thought we could go from bankruptcy to winning South America in 2.5 years down there? I mean, that was crazy.
We're expected to find out by the end of the week whether Palace will be allowed to compete in the Europa League. Transfers and Tottenham are confident of completing a move for Nottingham Forest midfielder Morgan Gibbs-White by triggering his £60 million release clause. This after the signing of Mohamed Kudus is all but done. But why did West Ham sell?
I couldn't get my head around it because he's definitely one of your best players, right? One of your most creative players, and that's one thing I think that they lack. West Ham is a little bit of creativity. It almost feels like if Jarrod Bowen doesn't get it done, then who is going to get it done? And the fact that he's going again, we spoke about Paquetá and his situation.
Yeah.
They've got Somerville, who I really like, who's good at Leeds. It's a bizarre one.
Arsenal have confirmed the signing of Christian Norgard from Brentford and are to formally approach Palace over Eberechi Eze. And there's optimism that Blair Kinghorn may be fit in time for the Lions' opening test against Australia next weekend. He hobbled off during yesterday's warm-up against the Brumbies. Owen Farrell, meanwhile, has been named on the bench for the final warm-up game against a combined Australia-New Zealand 15 on Saturday in what is now his fourth tour.
You know, he's I suppose lucky enough to play when he was very young, and you know you need the stars to align. I would have thought, as far as that concerned, when your first one starts, I suppose it allows you to have a look in at that type of thing.
Hear the whole Lions tour live on talkSPORT this summer.
Welcome to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. I'm Jamie O'Hara. Him over there, Jason Cundy.
Hey! I don't know what to say.
What do you mean?
I've got nothing, mate.
You got nothing?
There's no point.
You're a shambles.
No, do you know what, right? Out of football season,
Yeah.
I can't force it.
Yeah, all right.
Spurs haven't lost yet.
Spurs are back. Spurs
here we
are
go.
back.
Honestly,
it's in my opener.
Do you know
It's
what,
in my
mate?
opener.
Do you know what? You lot are unbelievable.
Spurs are
You're
back.
unbelievable.
We've won another transfer window.
There you go.
Here we go. The
Open
boys
top pass for transfer window.
The boys
Brilliant,
are closing
brilliant.
in. Morgan
Well
Gibbs-White for only 60 million quid. Daniel Levy, legend, doing things that other people can't do. Forest fans, how are you feeling right now? You lost your two best players, 03 717 22 33 44. But tonight, guys, we are joined in the studio by a very special guest. The legend, DJ, Chelsea fan, Trevor Nelson is alongside us. Unbelievable stuff.
Go.
Unbelievable stuff. We're going to be getting into him. We're going to get into him about his career, his legendary parties, the Club World Cup. You know, no one wants to talk about Chelsea, but he is a Chelsea fan. He don't want anyone to know that. And he thinks he can beat me in a sports bar music off. Loads to go at. If you've got a question for Trev, you can give us a call. 03 717 22 33 44. Trevor Nelson in the studio, music legend. How are you?
I'm very well. Can I just say, it's great to be here.
Yeah?
It is. You are my favourite show on radio. You have been for a No, Cundy, you know. You've been trying for 17 years to get me on this show. Don't even go.
Eventually, you buckle.
And do you know what? He said, is O'Hara on? Yeah, I'll come on there. I'll come on.
I had
That's
to
what it
get
was.
permission from the very top to come on this show. But no, I'm really pleased to be here.
Oh,
Really nice
Trev.
to see you. Nice to meet you guys.
Honest-
Thanks to be here,
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah,
Thank you.
mate.
Yeah, no problem. I've had a long day.
Have you?
But I'd done a gig before I came here. I did my show, then I did a gig,
Right, okay.
and then I did a gig on the River
So
Thames.
you squeezed us in.
I got, well, you're my last port of call, and then
My
it's
last
home.
port-
Yeah.
It's,
But
it's where it all goes downhill for him.
No, but seriously, I'm being serious, and every time I bump into you,
Yeah.
I always say the same thing to you. I say, when I started on Radio 2, I remember I used to come in I used to do a show on a Wednesday night, and that's when I discovered the Sports Bar. And I just became a mad fan of it, and I started listening to it because I don't listen to music radio.
Right.
Genuinely don't. I get away from music.
Really?
Do you know?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
And I'm
I
a
know what you
mad
mean.
sports fan, not
Yeah.
just football.
Yeah.
And it was such a mad show. It made no sense. I thought, who's commissioned this show on radio? And Jason Cundy used to play for Chelsea. He's a broadcaster. How were you? You having a laugh? So, but I loved it. I just fell in love with it, man.
Yeah.
And it's taken this long to be on it.
Amazing, mate. We're so glad that you've come in and taken the time out. We're going to get into loads of stuff with you. I'm going to start off straight away. I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah,
I'm disappointed.
Just
Come on,
found out.
Jay.
didn't you?
You come from Hackney,
Yeah.
right? You've grown up round there. How are you not a Spurs fan?
This is a true story. I'm going to whiz through it as quickly as I can. My dad, his nickname was Greavesy, my dad. He played football on a Sunday afternoon, Hackney Marshes. And I said, why's his nickname Greavesy? He didn't say. He didn't support the team. But he took me to Tottenham. First game I went to, Tottenham Hotspurs. Martin Chivers, I was a tiny little kid. Martin Chivers was playing for you. That's how long ago it was.
Jeez.
And you beat Nottingham Forest 7-3. And all I was scared of was, Dad, I'm too high up. I was scared. It was so high. You know when you first go in a football ground, you're high.
How old were you?
Must have been 6, 7.
24.
Something like that. And then he took
didn't
me,
beat Spurs.
a couple of years later, he took me to Arsenal. I remember, who played for Arsenal? Armstrong. A guy called Armstrong.
Well, don't
He
ask
scored.
me.
He scored. Arsenal won 1-0.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel anything. And at the time, blue's my favourite colour. I used to collect those football cards.
Yeah.
And I collected cards with Bonetti, Osgood, Hudson. They're the first cards I ever had.
Okay. There you
And it
go.
was just so sexy and romantic. And who are these guys? And then when you watch Match of the Day, back in the day, you get 2 games on, didn't you? 2 games back then. And Peter Osgood scoring that diving header. And
yeah.
just
1970.
come on.
yeah.
Well, they showed it for years,
And
didn't
that,
they?
and that was
it. And the first time I went to see Chelsea play, we were in the 2nd division. My school teacher at the time, primary school teacher, he actually went to school with one of the Waldron brothers. I don't know if you remember the Waldron brothers. I think they played for Burnley and Bolton or something like that. Anyway, they got tickets. And he said, do you want to come to Stamford Bridge? I lost my mind. So I went with him, and Ray Wilkins was captain.
Okay.
And that
legend.
was the only time I saw him play for Chelsea, and then he'd gone, and I cried.
Yeah.
And I realised I'm a Chelsea fan. I only became a season ticket holder about in the 90s, though, because I always worked on a Saturday.
Yeah.
But, you look like you want to throw me out. What's the matter with you?
No, I'm disappointed.
Listen, he's just told you the journey,
No,
right?
fair enough.
He's just told you the journey,
Fair enough,
right?
He's from Hackney.
Who cares? It's about the
You know,
journey.
if he's from the King's Road, and he's, from, one of them posh ones.
Here's the thing
I
about
get it, I can understand it, but, from Hackney.
Jay, here's the thing about Chelsea fans. Chelsea fans don't come from Chelsea. We don't. We're not. You can't because
What do you mean?
because it's a working man's sport, right?
Yeah, thank you.
Right? It's
Thank
a
you.
working man's sport. And football fan, all my mates, right, most of my mates are Chelsea. They don't live in Chelsea.
Come from Kingston, don't they?
Exactly.
Kingston should be called Chelsea.
Wimbledon,
Wimbledon,
Surbiton,
Kingston, yeah.
out that neck of the woods.
But no, I've had stick my whole life.
Yeah.
My absolute. Can you imagine? Every member of my family is an Arsenal fan.
Are they?
Every single member.
You've had some fun the
You've
last
had
20
some
years,
fun,
haven't you?
yeah.
My brother-in-law is Tottenham, and he's married to my sister who's Arsenal. The banter in their house is ridiculous, but I've always wanted to be different. I've always been different.
Yeah.
And I realised when I was young, to be Chelsea back in the day, in the 70s and 80s, as a kid growing up, it's just merciless stick, murder in Hackney for me, and I just, it made me different, and I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I just like being an individual, and I didn't do it because. And I'm not saying there was no glory hunting with Chelsea.
No.
Right.
Oh,
I did
he
it.
played for him.
I know. But I did it because I just love blue and I love Chelsea.
Can I ask you about the racism back then as well, right? Because we
I knew Canners. I knew Canners
We
as
both
well.
know Canners, right?
Yeah.
So back then, at
Yeah.
that time,
Yeah.
you mentioned about I took the stick about us being terrible 2nd division. But there was more to it. There was a really dark side.
Yeah,
of
there
that.
was.
How was that for you
No,
as a fan growing up?
you know the funny thing about football, if you can ask, there are a lot of people of colour, Asian, black, who love football, and they didn't go. They just didn't go. I went at every chance I could, so Wednesday night or something, because I worked on a Saturday. I always worked on a Saturday. I saw glimpses. You know what I mean? I heard things more than anything else, more than saw things. And I'm going to put hands on you, but they used to say stuff all the. I remember watching Chelsea v Arsenal. Last time I heard it at the Bridge. This is the last time I heard it at the Bridge. Chelsea Arsenal. My favourite non-Chelsea player in right. Hated when Arsenal we played. We couldn't beat them. Remember, we couldn't beat Chelsea. Couldn't beat Arsenal.
Never beat
them. We're at the Bridge. Right, he's getting stick. And I'm not liking it. I'm hearing things. I'm just really not. This still goes on. I even turned round a couple of times with my mate. You know what I mean? Right, he scores. Right, he does what Right he does. I mean, he literally did 3 laps of the pitch, waving at everybody. You know what I mean? And I thought, God. And deep down inside, as much as I hated the fact he scored, I felt good for you, mate. You know what I mean? And that's the way to stick it to people. And to be honest, Chelsea is a place now that you would never have believed that sort of thing went on before. It's just, that's why I said before we came on, I said to Jamie, football's brilliant now because anyone can go to football. Yeah. That's the one thing I love about football. Yeah. Women, kids, anybody of any colour. Yeah. Tourists, I don't care, people give it to tourists. No, every club needs tourists. I like when I go to a club and I see a tourist section coming down, buying the very expensive. Good. Broaden the game, make it bigger. Yeah. It's a much safer place than when we had terraces. I'm sorry, I know people miss the terraces, but it is much safer and a more friendly environment. So I've never played that card. It existed. Paul Cannaville is a very good friend of mine. I'm deep in his foundation as you are, and Paul Cannaville loves his music, When he was playing for Chelsea, he knocked on my door at 10 o'clock one night to buy a record off me. I came down in my pyjamas. What's the matter with you? He said, I'm at a party. I need that tune. The tune cost £2.99. Yeah. Right? I could get one in the shop tomorrow. I sold it to him for 40 quid in 1980 something. He gave me the money. I couldn't believe it. Canners is mad. We joke about it all the time. But yeah.
He's not been well recently, Canners.
I heard he's
not been well recently,
I know.
He's on the mend.
He'll be on the mend. He's indestructible, that guy.
Trev, we've got loads to talk to you about, and it's hard because we could do 3 hours with you, right? And we've got an hour to get into stuff. I want to start where it started for you, doing, coming from Hackney, becoming a DJ, getting into the music industry, and becoming, really and truthfully, in my opinion, in the 90s, Trevor Nelson was the king of music, right?
Well, not music.
Yeah, but R&B
and stuff
DJ,
like that,
legend,
There was
parties.
Pete Song doing house music, right?
But parties and stuff, it was just like
doing
that,
MTV.
It become massive.
Yeah.
Footballers would just jump at you.
You guys were on it because, basically I started on Kiss FM Pirate Radio, which was, as you can imagine, block of flats, no money, you pay your subs, it costs you money to do your shows, DTI raiding you, all that stuff. We were all scared. And I became, unknowingly, a shareholder of Kiss FM, which I never thought I'd get my money back. Just put a couple £100 in. 10 of us put 200 quid in. We had nowhere to go. I put my hand up and said, "Look, I've got a flat." Because Gordon said we got nowhere to go, much to end the station. I said, no, I've got a flat. Well, my girlfriend had a flat, like 19 floors up, Leytonstone, Cattle Estate.
Oh wow!
And I said, I'm sure she might mind.
This is Pirate.
Yeah, Pirate. So we cut a load of keys. It's a 1-bedroom flat, right? And I lived with her. And I had to go home and say to her, this weekend, because it's a weekend station, some of the boys will be coming through. We had about 20 guys come in. Toilet was an absolute mess. Kitchen was a mess. But I saved Kiss as far as I was concerned. And she left me. And but Kiss continued.
Yeah, I remember it. It was a pirate station.
Went for a license, got the license, became the first dance music station in London-wide. It was an amazing moment. All of a sudden, we were like, wow, legal. Yeah. I was on daytime radio first time. Did it for 5 years. Radio 1 sort of came semi-knocking. Yeah. My thing is, my love is black music. I know the music you love as well. You love a lot of 80s stuff. I know kind of what you like as well. But both of you like a lot of the music I like as well, right?
Oh, yes. And back in the 80s,
I just wanted it on a bigger scale. We had CD UK, remember? We had Top of the Pops. Yeah. And we had the chart show. They're the only places you could get music, really. Yeah. And I just needed more. Got onto Radio 1 on a mission to make R&B the biggest thing I could. they believed in me, and then MTV 2 years later. That was the game changer. That's when you ballers knew about me, because you lot all had MTV. You had, because to have MTV in those days, you had a bit of money, didn't you? Because you had to buy a subscription. It was like Sky Sports. You bought it for sports, you bought it for movies, and you bought it for MTV. And MTV, you go around people's houses, it was on 24 hours, wasn't it? You just put it on. And I started a show called The Lick, and it just went nuts. It just went nuts. And we started doing mad parties all over the place, and I couldn't keep Dwight York away, you know what I mean? And sorry, Dwight. There were a few of them, I could name drops here. But no, we did some great parties. We had some great fun. Rio Ferdinand is another guy that springs to mind.
I bet Rio loved it.
Oh, Rio. Rio, I'll give you a line about Rio. I did tell Cundy before I came on, because he punked me once, that guy. So I'm going to punk him now. No, he left Leeds to go Man U, which you don't do. Right? You know you don't do that.
Well, it depends on what's at the end of it.
Well, yeah. Everyone had to leave Leeds at the time, I think. But and then I did a massive party in Leeds. Huge. Just the biggest one I've ever done. There's 5,000 people there at the old Majestic. You must know that venue, anyway. And I was shocked to get Rio call me, I'm coming down to Pine. I said, what? Coming to Leeds? From Man? You just went to Man United. He comes down with security. He's down there with security. He's up in the VIP Mel B's area. Spice Girls Fever, she's here. And I'm just watching this guy staying really behind his two. Come on, why are you doing this? I've got to be here. I don't know if Ferguson knew, but he was there. He was there. And that was how it was. It was great in those days. It was fantastic. And then I moved on. I did 17 years at Radio 1, and then did a breakfast show at 1Extra, stayed at 1Extra for quite a while, still on it. And then Radio 2 came calling. Did a little show on a Wednesday night, and that's when I discovered the sports bar. Started driving to work, sports bar's on. I'm like, oh, I like this. This is funny.
What are these idiots talking about?
Who gave Cundy a deal? How is Cundy a broadcaster? But he was good. He was good. Him and Goldsy, they were great, really funny. And I just got addicted to it. I really loved the show because it was a release. After I finished my little hour, I only did an hour, put it straight back on in the car home, cracking up, laughing. And been listening ever since.
Yeah, amazing.
Simple as that. And even though I do another radio station, it's not a talks.
Yeah, of course.
Station. So I got permission from the boss to come on it today.
You?
Yeah.
I messaged
the green light.
I messaged him and said, "Can you come on?" He's like, "Let me go to my bosses." All right.
Yeah. I'm a bit of a bigger deal than I used to be, so I've got to go to the boss, right? So no, I'm pleased. I'm really happy to be here.
Listen, fab, don't we?
Yeah, you got loads to talk about. We're going to get into all sorts of things. We're going to talk Chelsea. I want to talk a bit of Tottenham. If you have got a call that you want to phone up and have a question with Trev, you can call us now, 03 717 22 3344.
Come on. Oh, yeah, you know how to make a man feel at home, yeah.
You are listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy alongside us tonight. A legendary DJ, Trevor Nelson. I'm going to be asking him loads of questions. If you want, you can give us a call, 03717 223344. talkSPORT as well have live commentary. PSG's win against Chelsea.
Up the Chelsea.
Against in the Club World Cup final this Sunday. Let's have a chat about it. You're both Chelsea fans.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have to deal with Cundy all the time. And look, fair play to him. You've got to the final. You're going to get pumped in the final. But
no, you don't know that.
Fair play, you've got there.
You don't know
Done
that.
all right. Are you convinced with this Chelsea side now?
Yeah, I am, actually. I'm like, I've listened to talkSPORT a hell of a lot. And the comments people have made about Chelsea, including yourself.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Everybody. I'll get to Gabby in a minute.
Can we stick to O'Hara for the time being? What he said?
O'Hara, yeah. O'Hara, right. Dismissing the plan and the project, especially last season, really hammering us. But can I be honest? I know this is not going to be popular with Chelsea fans, what I'm about to say. I actually got tired of Roman Abramovich's hire and fire.
Right.
I wanted a project.
Yeah.
I wanted him to stick with some players. I wanted him to develop some young players. He never wanted to do that. He wanted to buy ready-made players, got the fan base into this mindset of we buy ready-made players ready to go. Now, when it hit the fan, we had a load of mercenaries left at the club.
Yeah.
Because of that. Whereas I look at this group and they feel, to me, you look at them, they're hungry. They're like starving. They're like, they believe they can do something on Sunday, I think. Whether we do or not, it doesn't matter.
So did Real Madrid.
No, I don't think they did.
No?
I looked at that game and Real, I fancied PSG from the off, honestly.
I said, I actually genuinely think Chelsea will give PSG a better game than Real Madrid.
I think so.
I think they will.
Yeah.
But let's not get carried away here, right? You've played Palmeiras, Fluminense, Tunis. Who else did you beat? Benfica. Come on, like, you won the Conference Cup, and everyone's going on like Chelsea, this great side.
Right,
you spent £1 billion.
The caveat to that is the reason we're there is that we beat Atletico Madrid, we beat Porto, we beat Real Madrid in the semi-final over 2 legs, we beat Man City in the final. That's the reason we're there. So everyone says, you've done that. The reason we're there is because we've done that.
Bore off. It was about 4 years ago.
Bore off.
He's got a point, Cundy. He's got a point. Let him have his point.
It was 4 years ago.
But that,
weird,
everyone's going...
It's weird.
Everyone's going, why are Chelsea there? The reason we're there is because we did beat all of those clubs. Right, fine. We haven't had the toughest test, and we got there. It ain't about who you beat. It's about winning it. FA Cup. I've seen Arsenal.
Do you think
hang on. It's for me, and this is going to sound weird again. People are going to think I'm a weirdo. It's not about winning it for me.
Oh, it is.
No, it's not for me. No, it's not.
Trev.
No, it's not.
We're not going to fall out.
Jason,
Trev.
if someone told you before this competition we got to the final, would you take that?
Yeah.
Right. So what's it about? Why are you saying it's about winning it?
Because now you're there.
It's the experience. No. They're gonna experience something. And I'll tell you what, for my money, everyone thought this was a joke competition. PSG don't think it's a joke competition.
No one does.
The way they play.
No one does.
No, everyone wants to win this competition. City wanted to win it. You could tell.
Trev, you know they got £1 million each bonus, don't you?
But no. This is where we differ, and this is why I'm a bit of a weird Chelsea fan. And I've had it in my WhatsApp groups a lot when I say things like, I'm a supporter. I support the team. I don't criticise the team. I just look at the good things that the team do and see if there's progress. There's progress. Maresca's got them organised. We're harder to beat. You can't say we're not organised. We're really organised.
No, listen, I think you're a good side. You've got some talented football players. You really have. And young, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced that this team
is ready.
Can win the league.
No, I agree. I don't think so either. But then when we say that, all of you lot say, you spent £1 billion, you've got to win the league. You, Gabby, all of you. Yes, Gabby. You spent £1 billion, you've got to win the league. What's the point? It's called a project, and they're sticking by it.
Project. It's a £1 billion project, though.
Wait, of course it is. But I'll give you a little insight to something, right? Now, I'm not in the club like Cundy is, but I once got invited up to director's box last season, right? I've gone up there, and we lost to Nottingham Forest at home. Yeah. Right? And the person I spoke to, the member of the board that I spoke to, I won't name them, but I remember having the balls to go up there and say to them, how's it going? Like, everyone was mad when we lost to Forest, right, at home, right? It was
Forest.
I think it was Forest or someone like Forest.
We drew.
Who was it then? Who did we lose to?
Fulham?
Might have been Fulham or something. I was there anyway, I can't remember, but it was Bad result. We lost at home to someone we should. To someone we shouldn't have. And they said, "No, we're going to stick with this." And I was reassured. We're going to stick with this.
Yeah,
we are going to stick with this. This is good. This is the way we're going. And I'm like, so I'm talking about the season before, obviously, because not this season gone, the one before.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And I thought, okay, good. As long as you do. So I don't want to hear people saying, "Buy a ready-made striker, buy a mature centre back," because that's not what the plan is. So why would we do that when we're giving young players long deals, and that is what Chelsea's game plan is now. You don't just all of a sudden put a 30... I know Thiago Silva was already bought.
Yeah.
You don't then buy another 35-year-old, stick him in defence, or buy, I think the goalie, the one we were after, the French goalie, I get that. Yeah. I get that. A goalie you can, but not outfield players. I think that the dynamics...
Don't you think like you miss a John Terry, though?
Yeah, but stop going back in time, mate.
No, I know, but I'm not saying you should sign John Terry.
What are you going back in time for?
No, but don't you think like them players...
The game's moved on. JT's a one-off. He's a one-off.
But them players still exist. If you can find them, you still need them.
How many JTs have there been in the history of Chelsea Football Club? One that's come through the academy, come through the ranks.
Cundy?
One. I didn't say a half. I said one.
I said one. Be fair to me.
All right.
Be fair.
No, but come on. I mean, look. This is what the board have said. This is what we're doing. I'm all here for it. I'm here for it. I really am here for it. I think it's a great ride we're on.
Let me ask you this, right? So all of that I get and understand. I see the whole thing unfolding in front of my eyes. Where I think that as a Chelsea fan, and I'm going to say the Royal We, is that I do feel the team club needs a certain amount of experience in certain areas, and we do lack. We do, and there are games last season where I felt, and we're still that team, although back in last season, I thought Colwell really stepped up, Enzo stepped up, Casado. Yeah, I do feel there's moments in games and times where we could do with that voice.
Of course.
And we don't have, but that's what I'm thinking. Why don't we invest in that voice?
But we're not gonna.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Why?
But because that's not the plan.
I know.
And we've got to take the rough with this.
I know.
Those boys got us into the top four, right? Those boys got us into the top four when mid-season everyone was laughing at us saying you've fallen off. Cole Palmer can't do this. Everything's gone to pot on. The last few games were like veterans playing. The performance away at Forest. I was so proud of them at the end of the season, right? True. And then they won the cup they should have won, right? But I watched them. I watched I watched Enzo and Reece banging heads together. I watched Tosin just... we got some players there. Cucurella. Lavia. Caicedo. These guys are tough players, man. These guys, I think in a couple of years are going to be unbelievable. And, the spirit in the dressing room seems fantastic. So I'm happy. I'm here for the ride. I don't want to keep hearing you've got to win trophies. You've got to win trophies. That's all I hear on talkSPORT. You've got to win trophies. Everything's trophies.
He sounds like Gabby.
Yeah, is that Gabby?
It's just trophies. How about you got to go to a game, have a good time, and we win, and that we played well, and it was great, and we're in the top four, and aren't we making progress? You've got to win trophies. You spent all this money. The only people who spent money were the board. I don't look at money spent at football clubs now as my money like we used to. Back in the day, when we bought a player for £5 million, you felt your season ticket contributed to that. I don't feel that way anymore. I feel that someone owns the club, they spend the money. Good. I'm glad we've got owners that spend money. That's what I'm saying. Because every club have got owners that are wealthy.
Yeah.
Right? We're not the only ones. Arsenal's owners are very wealthy.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Your owners are very wealthy.
Well, we're back.
Oh, they're back.
Morgan Gibbs White.
So I hate hearing
Solanke now up front with top players.
Looking good, man. Kudos. Wow.
Keeping Romero, Van der Ven. Oh, I can't wait for the battle of the bridge.
I can't wait.
By the way, we're still going to pull your pants down and pick up 3 points. Don't you worry about that.
Cannot wait. It's getting good. Arsenal bought.
Yeah, it's going to be a good season. It's going to be a good season.
Man City. It's going to be a good season. I feel sorry for Villa. I feel sorry for Villa.
You're digging Gabby out again.
No, I'm not digging him out, and that's why he's so bitter. I actually do, but I do feel sorry for their fans. They had a great season, and they can't really reinforce, can they? And Newcastle, same thing.
Yeah.
Great season, can't put their hands in their pockets because of the way the system is. But hey,
not the Forest. I feel bad for them. Morgan Gibbs White gone, Elanga gone, two best players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a killer for them.
Villa, and fucking Newcastle, the two you think.
Yeah.
Go and spend money. You've got the money.
Look, loads to talk about. You want to have a chat with Trevor Nelson? Give us a call.
Clearly
We've got some questions as well. No, don't trust me. They're there. 03 717 22 344.
Up your game.
No, we've had to dig out some archives here. Dig out the archives. We're having Pam royalties on this. You're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy alongside us tonight. Very special guest, legendary DJ Trevor Nelson. We're going to be joined by the greatest competitive eater of all time as well, Joey Chestnut. He's coming on the show a little bit later on. But let's take a listen to former Chelsea captain John Terry. He joined the latest episode of Wimbledon Unfiltered with Nick Kyrgios. He revealed a special agreement that was in place when he departed Stamford Bridge.
Like, I'd never wanted to leave Chelsea. And when I did, it was that last year of Conte come in, took over, we won the league. I kind of got injured, which was a blessing for the team. I was at the kind of the back end of my career, and I kind of got injured. It took me a little bit longer to recover. And when I was out of the team, we went on like a winning streak of like 10 games, and I was like, I'm not getting back in this. But for me, it was like I was out of it, and I knew at that point I had nothing more to give for Chelsea, and I never wanted to be there and just kind of stay there because I'd kind of earned that as a player. I knew that my my levels after that were kind of going one way. So for me, it was time to go. They offered me another contract, but I decided to go to Aston Villa because we was in the Championship, and I had an agreement with Villa that if we got promoted that year and we lost in the final to Fulham, that I wouldn't play against Chelsea the following year in the Premier League. So 2 games I would have missed would have been Chelsea. It just wouldn't have felt right to me. But ideally I wanted to stay at Chelsea forever, but I felt like I had one more year in me, and we give it a good go at Villa, but unfortunately
John Terry there, obviously, Cundy loves him. He is a legend.
No, honestly, I remember when I started going every week, and I got my season ticket, and and we had so many good players, right? Yeah. When you went, you kind of didn't really watch the defenders much. You just wanted to get the ball to midfield and get going. And then one day I decided, do you know what? I'm going to come and do my own player cam on John Terry. Give him his, you know what I mean? Because Frank was always getting the love. Yeah. Because he was bursting through school. So I went to the game. I remember all my mates sitting around me. I just decided to watch JT.
Yeah.
Literally, I watched JT almost for the whole game. What a player, right? Left foot, right foot.
I know.
Control the defence, heading, no one gets past. It's just ridiculously. We took him for granted.
Yeah. I don't think people realise how good he was with both feet.
Left foot.
I know, he could zing one left foot 70 yards.
No problem. No one. If you say to someone, is John Terry 2-footed? They're probably going, no, don't think he's right foot.
I know, and I do appreciate, because he started life in midfield at Chelsea, and the thing about him, he was a ball playing centre half. He's playing midfield, but it got over because he never used to burst in.
Yeah.
He didn't do what Rio used to do. Rio used to travel with the ball, but JT could do it with left foot, right foot.
Yeah.
And anyone that's not a Chelsea fan that didn't do what we just said Trev do, I saw it. I covered every Chelsea game. His passing ability is underrated, and it'll never be, I don't think, fully appreciated, because that's probably that moment is gone. But let me tell you now, he is, and because he wasn't quick, his positional sense as an external, I used to watch him. He never got done for pace.
No,
he never got done for pace, and if he did, it was rare on a 1v1, right? And that can happen to anyone. Rarely, if ever, do you get done for pace.
It's because I also think defensive mid partnerships, central defensive mid partnerships always have one ball playing central defender and one stopper.
Yeah.
And he always had a really flamboyant guy next to him, didn't he? He had LeBeuf to begin with.
Yeah, Carvalho.
I mean, come on, the next level.
Amazing,
Desai at one point. You know what I mean? So you just don't think, oh, John Terry's spraying the ball about. But he was. He was very, what a player.
Did he come to some of your parties?
Can't say I saw John there. I can't say I saw him there. No. By that time, super professional. Chelsea, super. My era was the '94 boys. My era was the '94 boys.
Okay.
Frank Sinclair is probably my best mate at Chelsea. Andy Myers. Even Doobs. I spoke to Doobs last week actually. Doobs, all of that mob. Furlong even before that. Eddie Newton. Loads of them.
That's a great.
And you know, I did a gig once in a little restaurant. It was a terrible. Well, actually, it was a legendary place because, but it was a terrible venue. I thought in Holborn called Club Yo-Yo. I called it Villa Stefano. And after people finished eating their food, they'd shove all the tables out, get them all out, and then we'd start a club night. I'd come down with all my lot and start a club night. One day I'm in there, and people are doing all sorts in there. You know, like this. You could smoke in clubs then.
Yes.
Plumes of smoke everywhere. I've looked left and there's Rude Hullet. Frank Sinclair brought Rude Hullet down to this divey club. Right? And Rude's there, like, just shaking his dreadlocks. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And that was the days you could actually hang out with players a bit more. I don't think you can do that now at all. They're much more professional now. Yeah. So.
What's the best party you've ever had?
I know what the best party I've ever thrown is. In 1999, Lick Party in Dublin. It was the most ridiculous party ever. You put a €15 ticket. I booked the Honeys. That's the only act. Do you remember the Honeys? Do you remember them? Three-piece. Right.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
And that's all I booked. They're the only act on the bill. No other act on the bill. Mariah ended up singing. Whitney turned up with Bobby and was on stage.
Sorry. For those that didn't quite hear that, say that again.
All right. Sorry. Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
Right.
And Whitney Houston.
Yeah, jumped on stage singing, sung a couple of songs to me. Missy Elliott sung a couple. Mary J. Blige did a couple. Bless him, he's incarcerated right now. Him.
Yeah.
He smashed it. He smashed it.
So did you say
Whitney?
Sorry, I know you know them personally.
No, I mean,
I know. I just for those.
There ain't no other Whitney.
I know, but I just want everyone listening to this. I can see his lips. I want them to know what he's talking about.
Anyone who's got 10 minutes.
How did that even happen?
Anyone who's got 10 minutes spare, just go on YouTube. It lives up there because I'd interviewed them a lot over the years.
Yeah.
You know, the thing about their music, not so much Whitney Houston, but a lot of the R&B artists, Destiny's Child, those sorts.
Yeah.
When they first came here, they'd go to radio and they'd do a couple of interviews. There wasn't that many people that interested in them. But they'd come to Radio 1 and I'll be there, ready to interview them. Then they'd go, right, you've got TV to do now. Maybe one other TV, maybe two. And then they'd come to MTV and I'll be sitting there waiting for them. You again? I'd be like, yeah, me. So, in a way, they all got to know me. And then we had a big MTV Awards and then they all came to my party. Oh, you're doing a party? Come to your party. And they all came down and it was just...
It must have been an unbelievable feeling, right?
Listen, Jamie, I sat there. It's 1999. I sat on the edge of the stage. 1,500 people had gone. I looked at my mate and I said, that's the best party I'm ever going to do. Yeah. That's the best party, R&B party in the world ever. I'm never going to do another party again. This is 26 years ago. Yeah. I said, I'm done. Yeah, it's like scoring. It's like Jeff Hurst after scoring a hat trick for England. He wanted to just hang up his boots, didn't he?
You go from there.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go from there, mate.
Mount Everest
exactly.
has been
That's how I felt. But that was the best party. Yeah. Not a footballer in sight. It was mid-season.
Was there not?
No, it's mid-season. It was a Dublin.
Oh, that must have been. Dublin. That doesn't mean to say it's not a football in sight.
You guys knew how to get about, mate. I'm telling you. It's like stealth, you lot. Yeah. You had drivers that wouldn't speak. Anytime you met a guy who drove footballers, I don't speak. But I booked you because I heard you drive footballers, so you're safe. You're very... Yeah. Who'd you drive? Can't tell you. Where'd you go? Can't say. Give us a story, mate. This is a 3-hour journey. Give me something. Have you ever dropped anyone something? Yeah, I've dropped a couple of girls back to estates. You know,
that's amazing.
From a mansion to an estate. You know the drill, right? I'll leave it at that. But we had some. Yeah, that was the only time I actually felt that football had a bit of parity with our scene, just a little bit, because you weren't paid stupid money then. You were paid great money. You know what I mean? You were just about intouchable. And now I think they're untouchable. I think they're just somewhere. I think I look at them as aliens now. Yeah, I know what you mean. You can't get near them. So protected. Yeah, very protected. You can't get near them.
They can't let their hair down. Have you ever thrown a really bad party?
I don't know the silence of the face. If you only could see.
I'm just thinking of Trev, have you thrown a bad one?
My first one. Yeah. Was my first public party was really bad. I hired this club, right? It holds 500 people. So I've gone to the owner. Yeah. What night can I get? He says Thursday night and it's dead, man. So I said, all right, I'll do Thursday night. So I've gone out there promoting it. Yeah. In Hackney and everything. He had his bar staff. He had more staff than punters that turned up, right? I had 30 people in the club. 27 were on the guest list. Right?
Where's Whitney when you need
27 were on the guest list. I stood there, I'm DJing to 30 people. Right? Killer. No one's bought drinks, anything. No one's bought drinks. My friends had no money. So I'm standing, I knew it was my last night in this gig. And my mate looked at me and said, don't you think we should play more chart music or something? And I went, on. I said, no, look at the positive. We've got 3 payers. Next time we'll get 4. And that was my attitude in life. Yeah. So look where it got me.
Yeah, amazing.
I just kept going.
On top of a small spot.
I just kept going. But that's a lesson to anybody. Yeah. You know, I think that you got. I look at you guys and I say to myself, to be a professional footballer, to get to play in the Premier League or the old First Division like you did, it's a tiny percentage of kids who kick a football can get there. You've got to have something about some super. People can call Jamie O'Hara complete. You know what I mean?
Careful.
But deep down, in my head, I'm going, no. Yeah, there's something about you that got you there, right? And so no one's not got a story. So even with DJing, people think it's a laugh. He's just playing some tunes. No, mate. I have put my name and my face on flyers, given them out. People have thrown them on the floor. You know, I've kept going, and then you get there. It's just like football. You get knocked. People say you're not good enough. You keep going, and Thiago Silva's story is a fantastic story. One day someone should look it up. He got rejected, didn't he?
Did he?
I think so. when he was young.
Yeah.
Look at him now.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Legend, yeah. All right, we're going to keep Trev. He's going to stay till 11:15
Yeah,
because
we kidnapped him.
yeah, we've kidnapped him like we always do.
We kidnapped him.
He's got no choice. He ain't going nowhere. We've not booked his car till 11:15, so he's got to stay. We're going to play Nelson's column next. I don't know what this feature is, but it sounds pretty decent.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's not many songs I know the lyrics to, right?
Isn't it?
You know the lyrics to this one?
No, this is the one, right? This is my.
This is a go-to for any event,
I
any
know,
party, anywhere.
But normally
ever.
I need the old, the old screens.
Yeah,
What, karaoke screen?
Can I be honest? I'm not any good. Go on. Yeah, I don't remember all the words.
Oh, you don't?
Play it all the time. I played this afternoon.
You know what's great? Because we're going to play a little music game. Me and him are going to go against each other.
better not be lyrics.
Who's hosting? Am I hosting?
You're hosting, and
Am I?
'cause you know my music knowledge is all right.
Do you know what, right?
It's
Jay?
not bad.
It's better than not
I
bad.
can't help myself, I don't want nobody else to ever love me. You are my shining star, my guiding light, my love fantasy.
Yes.
There's not a minute, hour, day, or night that I don't love you. You're at the top of my list, cause I'm always thinking of...
Right, we're going to do a little feature now. A bit of quickfire questions. It's called Nelson's Column.
Oh,
We're going to put our studio guest Trevor
I've got
Nelson
the questions
in
here.
a test on certain scenarios. He
Right.
just has to tell us who was the man involved in each scenario. Admiral Nelson, Nelson Mandela, Trevor Nelson.
I love it.
Most starstruck you've ever been?
Whitney Houston.
Yeah, it's
Interview scared the hell out of me.
I bet it.
Yeah, we were one-on-one together, and I said to her, she's getting her hair done. I said, nice flight, Whitney. 30 seconds later, yeah, not bad. Just controlled me.
Yeah.
And then we had a good interview, but I was starstruck. I was going, this is Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. She looked amazing as well.
Yeah.
And then, what was your next question?
No, we had a great about her album. It was great. No, she was great.
Is it hard though? I'm guessing like when you were doing all these kind of interviews, you are interviewing the best.
Yeah,
of the
and
best.
I mean, the only two I would say the only two people on my list that I never interviewed that I would have loved to have interviewed, Dr. Dre. Never interviewed him, believe it or not. Eminem, I've done all Snoop, all of these people, not Dre. And
Isn't Snoop a Chelsea fan or not?
I don't know what he is.
I've seen him. I've seen him with Frank. I've seen him.
Just pay him. He'll do anything. Just pay him. Just pay him.
You're a Chelsea fan, Snoop?
Yep. Pay him. Pay him.
Yeah.
The other one was Prince.
Oh.
And I had a chance, but he was called Symbol at the time, and he was going to be really awkward, so I just didn't. I passed on it. No, because he hated the music industry, and he was called Symbol. Or something like that. So, what sort of interview would I have done with him?
I don't know.
Nah, he wasn't. Would
have been hard work.
Imagine Prince now. You're Symbol.
Nah, I'm not going to do it just to meet you, am I?
Oh, I would.
Nah, not me.
No.
And the other thing is, when you meet really famous people and you have to interview them, eventually I learned. No one ever taught me. I just learned. I learned that there's no point being starstruck.
Yeah.
No one wants to listen to that.
No, of course.
That's sycophancy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got to put yourself on their level. Even though you're not.
Yeah.
You've got to, for the viewers' sake.
Yeah. And also, they won't appreciate that as well. Yeah. Blowing smoke.
They respect you more.
Yeah,
they respect you more.
I think there's definitely something in there.
Yeah. Maybe you should, think about that when
I talk to you. Jamie O'Hara again.
A song everybody loves that you hate.
Whoa, I like that one. I don't know. Probably.
Blue is the colour.
Oh, that was a Cundy laugh.
It is.
No, a song I probably. I don't want to.
Go on, go there. Go there.
Let me think.
Listen, Trev, can I ask you about Wham? Wham.
No, I love Wham. You love Wham. I love Wham. I'm sorry, I love Wham. George Michael, he's up there. No, I think you got to go One Direction, Spice Girls, or something like that, right? You got to go something that the country love.
Yeah, not better. Yeah.
Do you know what I can't stand?
Go on.
Oh,
he's vetting himself.
He's out of breath.
He's vetting himself.
He's out of breath.
No, there's so many. I don't like hating on music though, but I'm sorry. Can I pass on that for now and I'll come back to it?
Come back to it. Well,
I can't think. I haven't come in with negative vibes. I can't think of a song I hate. But I can't think of a song I hate. Oh, no, come on. It's got to be maybe a Christmas song.
Oh yeah, Christmas song.
No, I know the song I hate, but everyone hated it.
Go on.
Akon Lonely. It was the number one ringtone.
God, yeah.
It was the number. You do know it. You do know it. It was the number one ringtone of all time.
No.
I hated it so much that when I had Akon in the studio, I said to him, I hate that song.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't know it.
What did he say to that?
He said that song made me more money than any song in the world ever.
Yeah.
And he laughed. He said, I know. He said,
I agree with you on that one, by the way. Best city to gig in?
Oh, Manchester.
Oh, really?
Manchester, Leeds, Newcastle.
Not
Take
London?
your pick. Oh, London. I've done London a million times. I'm not going to say London.
What about in the world?
The beautiful thing about London, that's easy. The beautiful thing about London is that you get everybody, and there's a lot of cool people in London, so they're that cool. You go to Manchester, they don't care.
Yeah.
They have it. Leeds, same thing. Newcastle, same thing. Those three cities, I'm up there all the time. In the world, it's got, I don't want to, not anymore. The Beefy used to be great.
Not having it now?
I did Pasha for 12 years, and honestly, every night that I did Pasha, I did the Global Room.
Yeah.
Every single night I did Pasha, I just said, thank you, Lord.
Yeah. It's iconic.
It's not just iconic, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
People from all over the world.
Yeah, I know.
And the crowd in front of you just giving you vibes. It's lovely. Really good.
Well, I watch DJs now, and I just think, I mean, I play football, and that was the greatest job in the world. But when I watch a DJ, and you've got the crowd, you've got them.
Depends what you're talking about, though, because there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that twizzling knobs, not actually doing anything.
Okay, here we go.
You know what I mean?
So when do you know you've got the crowd? Because we've all been to these venues, we've all been to Ibiza, we've all been to parties, right? And there's a vibe. I mean, for me, Glitterbox is Glitterbox is the best club I've ever been to.
Melvo, great lad.
The best.
Yeah, I agree.
It's the best I've ever been to. Right, it's got a space. Right, it's the best I've been to.
I think so.
Right, but that atmosphere. But when do you, as a DJ, know you've got the room, because the room doesn't always catch fire.
No, but it's different for different genres, right? If you're doing house, it's a completely separate thing. House music is, when you talk about DJing, you think of house music, you think of dance music, you don't think about what I do, which is more R&B and so, which is very different. But so I don't get that feeling that those guys get. Those guys are very different, honestly. And I'm not just saying it to deflect. My thing is, I always get the room. I know the room because it's R&B and it's soul, and they're there. Once they're there for you, you've got them. You can only destroy it. Yeah. When you're a DJ and you're on the come up, you've got to prove it all the time, because no one's interested in you. They're like, well, prove it every time you DJ. So I enjoyed warming up for people when I first started. I enjoyed doing the difficult sets, because when you've got a name, the pressure's on you to just deliver the hits or the big ones. You want to peak with him. I think the room, when I witnessing Passion main room, and I've always gone in there. I've done Defected tonight. I've done Eric Murillo's all night. I did Pete Tong for a few years, and I've gone in there with all their guests when they're DJing, just to watch them doing what they do. And when they get the room, they just get the room, don't they? Okay. It just goes mad.
So is there a go-to tune for you?
For me?
Yeah. Is there one? Like,
no, I don't. I'm not Mr. Energy. I'm not Mr. Energy.
I don't know.
I'm old school. I'm an old school. Yeah. I'm an old school DJ now. So you were singing one of them that never fails.
Yeah.
I played Luther this afternoon to a bunch of 30-years. They were all singing it.
I know. I'm one of them now.
Yeah, but it's fine. You know, I'm old school, so I like old school music. So Luther's that Luther tune, honestly. From a wedding to a christening to a party, even in Ibiza, I used to play tunes like that in Pasha, just because they never played tunes like that. Yeah. You know, and people, the reaction was always massive, just ridiculous. So no.
So many questions here.
That's a bit of a dodge, sorry, mate.
No, but that's the answer I wanted.
Dream Glastonbury lineup, 3 people.
Stevie Wonder, who's on tour right now. Probably, do you know what? The Reform Police.
Oh, wow, yeah, okay.
I love the Police.
Right.
I'm trying to. I'm not going to say Oasis. I'm not going to say Oasis. There's too much Oasis love going on at the moment. Come on.
There is.
The Stones, man.
Yeah.
The Stones, ahead of the Beatles.
Okay. All right. We're going to continue to get into Trev. We're going to play a little game as well. Me and Trev are going to go up against it, see if my music knowledge can deal with the legend that is sat beside me. We're going to just squeeze on a bit of Non and Madwacky chat before you go as well, because it is agreed, a reported £50 million deal to go to Arsenal. And Arsenal fans are not happy about it. You can have your sound now, 03717 22 33 44.
John Textor believes Crystal Palace should be allowed to compete in the Europa League next season, saying that he doesn't infringe on UEFA's multi-club ownership rules.
We shouldn't talk about whether or not I have 43% vote or whether I have a 25% vote. We should talk about zero.
Yeah.
Because the document that I signed, when I signed onto the shares, says clearly I'm not entitled to have any role in management decisions.
Palace's situation in Europe is still up in the air after Lyon's appeal against relegation in France was successful. Textor was also asked about his relationship with Chairman Steve Parish.
His ambition every year is to avoid relegation. Our ambition is to climb the table. Who thought we could go from bankruptcy to winning South America in 2.5 years down there? I mean, that was crazy.
We're expected to find out by the end of the week whether Palace will be allowed to compete in the Europa League. Transfers and Tottenham are confident of completing a move for Nottingham Forest midfielder Morgan Gibbs-White by triggering his £60 million release clause. This after the signing of Mohamed Kudus is all but done. But why did West Ham sell?
I couldn't get my head around it because he's definitely one of your best players, right? One of your most creative players, and that's one thing I think that they lack. West Ham is a little bit of creativity. It almost feels like if Jared Bowen doesn't get it done, then who is going to get it done? And the fact that he's going again, we spoke about Paquetá and his situation.
Yeah.
They've got Somerville, who I really like, who's good at Leeds. It's a bizarre one.
Arsenal have confirmed the signing of Christian Norgard from Brentford and are to formally approach Palace over Eberechi Eze. And there's optimism that Blair Kinghorn may be fit in time for the Lions' opening test against Australia next weekend. He hobbled off during yesterday's warm-up against the Brumbies. Owen Farrell, meanwhile, has been named on the bench for the final warm-up game against a combined Australia-New Zealand 15 on Saturday in what is now his fourth tour.
You know, he's I suppose lucky enough to play when he was very young, and you know you need the stars to align. I would have thought, as far as that concerned, when your first one starts, I suppose it allows you to have a look at that type of thing.
Hear the whole Lions tour live on talkSPORT this summer.
Good evening, you are listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, Jason Cundy and Trevor Nelson. What a team that is. Me and Trevor are going to go head-to-head in a Sports Bar music off in just a moment. We've got to, mate. We've got to test your knowledge.
I'm going to be useless. You know I am. And then you're going to say, I should be the guy on Radio 2. I should be the guy. You know, I'm better than Trevor Nelson. I am. Honest, I am. I'm the man.
Do you know what? All you got to do goes, shambles. That's right, you've got to hit the desk and go, shambles.
But first, we've got to talk about it. Nottingham Aduake. Arsenal have agreed a deal. Reported £50 million with add-ons included. Now I see today, and I think this is really harsh. And Trev, I want you've got a big take on this. Arsenal fans ain't happy about it. I don't get it.
Okay, I think it comes from the fact they've bought a player from us every season in the last 7 seasons. I think bar one or something like that, and maybe 2 of them have been good for them.
Yeah,
you know, I like Nonny. Chelsea fans in general like Nonny. They just want him to get a little bit better because he's very direct. He goes at his players. You see him play for England recently. He's been okay. Yeah. And he's one of the most exciting wingers in the Premier League. He's not the finished article. And I think they hate the fact they're buying him from us. And I get it. But how is he going to, you know, signing petitions? I heard on another pod, on Robbie's pod. I was watching Robbie.
Sorry. What?
Arsenal petitions. They've signed petitions
and not signed.
I've heard this,
that to
right?
who?
I don't know.
And also, I heard a rumour that 83% of their fans don't want him. I mean, how's he going to feel signing for Arsenal? I think it will die down. I think when he runs on the pitch first time, they'll all be behind him. Yeah. I think he's a good England player. Maybe, you know, 50 mil's fair. That's why I'm not crying. 50 mils fair.
He's a young English player. You got to pay for that, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, but we've got Gittins. I don't know what he's going to be like. I know what Gittins is going to be like. I mean, he's very direct and quick in place of Sancho, right? How do you feel about Noni going?
So here's my opinion on him, right? I'm a fan. Is he the finished article? No. And I think what football fans, I think generally we're not used to our wingers taking players on anymore. And we saw last night PSG, you got Gravaskelia one side, you got Doué the other, Barcola comes on. When a wide man takes a fullback on, it's risk taking.
Yep.
And we don't in the modern game. The risk of losing the ball is something as football fans we become conditioned to. Don't lose the ball. Don't lose the ball. And I'd say in comps, don't give the ball away. I hear myself saying it, right? But when you're a winger taking a fullback on a 1v1 situation, it's a 1v1. Take him on.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's one of the toughest jobs in football to beat someone 1v1 who's set up defensively to stop you, right? And here's what happens. Sometimes they give the ball away. Sometimes they lose it. And the groans from the crowd. I tell you one thing about Noni, which I love. He picks the ball up. He's got one thing on his mind. I'm going to attack my fullback. And he's a little bit of a throwback.
Well, he's like the PSG wingers. I'd like to think what we want to see coming back. He is a little bit like that. Okay, can he get better? Of course he can. Of course he can. Last season, he moved from the right to the left. So there was this big issue between Sancho on the left and we had Noni and we had Neto, right? And it was like, Maresca couldn't work out, do I play Noni or do I play Neto? But Sancho would start and then we had, occasionally Neto would start. Eventually, the reason we got top four, one of the reasons, was because of Noni, because he played on the left and he solved a problem. Was he brilliant out there? No. Was he good? Yeah. And he caused problems out there. So for me, from Arsenal fans, genuine Chelsea fans, you've got a player. I don't know how good he can. I don't know how good he can go, but what he can do, you've got cover for Saka and Martinelli on the left. Yeah,
he can do both.
Yeah,
he is a great cover with. Problem we start Esteval, right?
Yeah,
and we start Gittin. He's run out of space. 50 million. I agree with Trev. 50 million is probably his fair price.
Yeah, it's good
52
business.
million, yeah.
Hardest position. Don't you think it's the hardest position outside of striker?
In the modern game?
Outside of striker,
look at Jack Grealish, right?
Yeah.
Jack Grealish used to...
Centre midfield's the hardest position.
Centre midfield. Yeah, but I mean, in terms of the crowd, seeing you're making a mistake. Yeah. You get the ball. You've got to beat your man. That's your job.
Create something.
Now remember at Chelsea, if I remember, Sean Wright-Phillips when he came, he came from Man City, in and out of the team. Salah came. I remember Salah playing for Chelsea. I remember watching him going, he's lost the ball.
Yeah.
Because he tried something. Or, we lost so many wingers because of that. And I think loads of clubs churn through wingers and don't rate them because not everyone's a Saka. No, it's
I think
not
with
easy.
the PSG team now that we're watching with Doué and Kvaratskhelia.
Kvaratskhelia.
I think we're going to start seeing...
Barcola as well.
I think we're going to start seeing the old school winger come back in.
I hope so.
Right, come on, we've got to do this. Come on, you're going to host this,
I've got a theme tune or not?
Come on, my cab's here. My cab's here. My cab's here.
Here we go. I've got 5 songs for each of you in front of me. I'm going to give you the years these tunes are released, and I'm going to play them to you guys, right? So you've got to tell me who the artist is and what the song title is.
This is terrible. It's terrible. This is what we're doing, guys.
So good.
Honestly,
I've only been doing 20 years.
My specs.
I've only been doing 20 the only catch is you only hear a random 2-second clip from each tune, right?
Okay. Yep. Is it one each or we just...
Jamie, this is yours.
Steal.
Where is it? Okay. You can steal.
You can steal.
No, you go first.
No, it's yours. It's yours. Do you want to hear it again?
Night Fever.
Okay, go on.
I got it.
Okay,
It's not
half
fever.
a point.
What do you mean half a point?
Half a point.
Why? You got it.
It's a tune, I got it.
Who sings it?
Do it.
No, tell you what.
I'll get the other half point.
Go on.
Bee Gees.
That's the Bee Gees, right.
Trev, here we go. This is from the 70s, right? 1978?
Yeah.
1978?
Go on. Oh, you're killing me. That could be so many
more than
things.
2 seconds.
That could be so many different things. Hang on.
Trev?
Hang on.
Trev?
Play it again.
Play it again.
It's a bit of percussion. Bloody hell, that's not easy, is it?
Well, you should know
it. Sounds like a 74 tune. Sounds like Rock Your Baby.
1978?
Yeah, but it sounds like Rock Your Baby, which was not 1978.
I haven't got a clue, so...
No. Do you know what, right? I know this song, and I ain't got a clue either.
That bit there.
Trev, you've been stitched up, mate.
I've been stitched up, cool, safe.
Do you want to steal?
No, I don't know who it is. So go on, who is it?
Okay, go on.
Who is it?
That's Blondie.
That's harsh.
It's 1-0 to O'Hara.
Harsh.
It's 1-0 at the sports bar.
Hang on. I got the Bee Gees.
No.
No.
I've just been told in my ear it don't count, Trevor, right?
Okay.
So, talkSPORT
You're
1,
gonna do me. I know you
BBC 0.
I know you
right?
can beat me.
BBC 0, right? BBC 0,
Yeah,
right?
go on,
Okay, here we go, right?
Oh,
Okay, next one.
versus
Next one.
BBC there.
Come on,
Look
Here
at
we go,
that
Jamie.
bitch.
Here's your next one.
Go on. What the hell is that?
I have no idea. I mean, what?
Are you joking me?
What is
this?
Are you joking me?
O'Hara's the best at music here.
Right.
Play again. I have no idea who that is.
Still here, Trev.
Trev?
Trev.
What year is it? You didn't say the year.
It's 84.
I mean,
84.
Come on, guys.
Oh, hang on. Go again. This is one of your new romantic boys, isn't it? This is you. This is Cundy in his heyday with the long wedge and the.
No, I'm saying nothing.
Dun, 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 dun. It's not Wham.
Chance
It's
to
Wham.
steal.
It's Wham.
I need the tune.
He didn't get the bleating name of the group, did
Go
he?
on, give it
It's
to him.
Wham.
Wham. Go on, if you give it to him.
And
give it to
it's I don't know
Come
which one. The rap. No.
Play it.
Young Guns. Yeah, come on, Trevor.
One each.
Right, come on.
Okay.
Last one each.
Here we go.
Final round.
Jamie, here we go. 1998. You're getting this, mate.
I'll get this. Come on.
This is era.
This is my
Cool.
jam.
Here we go.
Play it,
Yeah.
lads.
It's silent, isn't it?
Oh, it's Oh.
Come on.
Oh.
Come on.
That was about 6 seconds.
Come on.
That wasn't
It was.
Oh.
Come on.
Oh. Play it again. Please. Play it again. One more. Oh my God, I don't know it. I know it and I don't know it.
Jay.
Oh, it's gonna kill me.
Jay.
It's gonna kill me.
Some dance tune back in Magaluf
It is a
that
dance
you
tune.
used to.
It is a dance tune.
Mate, drink that dodgy.
I don't know it, mate. I know the song, but I don't know who sung it.
What's the song?
I don't know.
We don't know the song then, do you? Here we go.
Go on, play it. I've got it. I don't know who it is.
Do you believe in life after love?
It's Cher. It's Cher.
It's 1-1.
Killer.
Trev.
Yeah, I've got a
Trev,
chance. Is this for the
here we
win?
go.
Is this for the win?
1994.
Is this for the win?
No, it's not for the win.
This
Not
is for the win.
No, it's not for the win.
What do you mean it's not for
Yeah,
the
keep playing.
Oh, we keep
Trev, here we go.
Not my bag, is it really?
Oh, that's a killer.
But it sounds like Oasis or something like that.
does sound like
Sounds
Oasis.
like
It sounds like
It
Oasis.
sounds a lot. 94 was Oasis's time. Give us a bit of that guitar again, mate. Although it's a bit. It's got to be Oasis being on talkSPORT, hasn't it? It's got to be.
It's Oasis.
Oasis,
2-1.
to do whatever.
Right, listen, we've got to give Jay a chance to get back into it.
Please give me one more. Come on,
Jay, we've got Jay.
Let's squeeze it.
Jay,
Go on, one more.
We can
go on.
squeeze this in, Jay.
It's fun time.
1995. Jay, 1995, bud. Here we go.
You're here again.
You're getting
Jay.
this. 100%.
Oh, if you don't get this, I mean, that's an intro. That's not
As
even
I
the
walk
middle.
through the valley of
Yeah,
the
go on,
shadow
yeah,
of
go on,
death,
yeah.
I take a
What's
look
it
at
called?
my life
Yeah.
and
What's it called?
realise there's nothing left.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Who is it? Who sings it? What's it called?
It's
How long
Oh, he's under the
How long has he
gun.
got?
Shush!
How long has he got? How long has he got?
He got.
Shush!
He's under the
Go,
gun.
come on.
It's
Go,
Dr.
go.
Dre.
Oh,
Oh,
no! Coolio, Gangster Coolio!
Coolio!
A win to the Nelson!
He's what?
I can't believe that, Jay.
I know the lyrics, I don't know
I
the song.
can't. No, honestly, you did the
Gangster's
lyrics.
Paradise.
Gangsters
Number
Paradise.
one for like ages.
Trev, this is your final one. You ready for this?
Dangerous Minds,
Finest-
the movie was from the soundtrack. Dangerous Minds,
Go on.
Coolio. Yeah, go on. I've already won, Jay.
He's won.
But they're gone then, just gone.
We've got to let him go.
For the listeners,
I just played the last one.
All right, you didn't even need to go do 4 bars. Wannabe, Spice Girls. That was for you.
That was for me. Trev, you're an absolute legend, mate.
Pleasure.
What a legend. Thank you for coming in.
Jason.
Hopefully we get you on again soon and
No,
come
you
in
won't.
whenever you want. You're made
I
for
won't.
talkSPORT,
No,
Trev.
it's a one-off.
You're made for
It's a one-off.
talkSPORT.
It's a one-off.
You sure?
It was it might be a one.
Have a look at your contract.
You mean when I get home?
Trevor Nelson, the legend, joined us in the studio. We're going to be up next by another legend, the greatest competitive eater of all time, Joey Chestnut, is coming on the show. You're listening to the Sports One Talk Sport. Me, Jamie O'Hara, and Jason Cundy. Tonight we're going to do a midnight train. You can help us out. Get your calls in 03 717 22 33 We're joined now, though, by another legend, the greatest competitive eater of all time, Joey Chestnut. All right, Joey?
All right, Joey boy.
Hey, guys. Great to be on with you.
How you doing, Joey?
Mate, massive accomplishment. The greatest eater of all time. I mean, how did you do that? Where'd that come from?
I grew up in a big family, and when I got to college or university, my friends signed me up to a contest, and it just got bigger and bigger. I changed my goals. I was doing everything right. I was getting my engineering degree. Then when I started doing the eating contests on the weekend, it just took over.
Now, I've seen this on American TV, these hot dog eating contests, right? And, I mean, they're amazing. Right? People get right behind it. Just tell everyone when you eat the hot dog, how you eat them. Because, I mean, how many you've done 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes. That's the record, right? You said it in 2021. But is there an actual art form to this? It's
not pretty. During the contest, so I'm eating the 2 pieces of meat.
Oh my God,
I dunk a bun in
this is the one I've watched.
Oh yeah. You dunk the bun in the water, and the wet bun helps you swallow the meats. And that video, I'm starting to slow down there.
Yeah,
I should have been.
But you do 2 at once, right? You do 2 at once.
Yeah, 2 pieces of meat, then a wet bun, then another wet bun. and I just try to find a rhythm, keep doing it, and breathe, swallow, and it's whatever my body's telling me. Just ignore all the feelings.
Joey, so I'm watching this now, right? And like Joe, I've seen it, right? And now I've got you in front of me. It's like you look like you lost weight since the video I'm watching. I know, but you do. You look bigger there in the video. Your arm raised and you got the belt. I mean, calories not a problem, though. You don't care about the calories.
It takes a while to get that. Yeah, this is almost a week later, and I've been eating pretty clean afterwards. I've had some beers, but dude, I've been on a high fiber diet since then.
But how'd you train for this? I mean, it's all well and good you saying that you've been, looking after yourself. How'd you train for eating 76 hot dogs? How'd you go on?
Runners have to run, fighters have to fight. I have to put in I have to eat the hot dogs once a week. I'm doing a practice contest, so my whole week is kind of revolves around that practice.
So you're sparring.
So do you go to like a supermarket and just order 100 hot dogs? I mean, what's the deal here?
I buy the hot. Well, I have to cook the hot dogs myself, set them up like a practice contest. Before every practice, I do a cleanse, make sure I'm absolutely empty. So it's like
a cleanse. What does a cleanse look like? Don't eat anything.
It's lemon juice, water, a couple oils to make sure that I go in absolutely empty. It's like this. Have you ever had a surgery? The stuff you take before you take
nil by mouth.
Yeah.
Nil by
mouth. Nil by mouth. That's what we call it in England. Nil by mouth.
I've got to ask you, because you don't just do hot dogs, right? You do other foods. I've got a list of here and things that you've done. And
everything worth eating. I try to win at. But so whether it's Twinkies or ribs, chicken wings.
What's the hardest thing you've eaten?
Oh, the hardest is any food that I'm not familiar with. I did a cow brain taco eating contest. What? And that was pretty gross. So if it's a food I don't like, it gets really hard.
You ate cow brain?
Yeah, cow brain. It was gnarly.
What's your favorite?
My favorite? Oh, I love a good rib eating contest. They're tasty.
Is that rib on the bone? I'm guessing it is, right?
Rib's on the bone. Yeah.
So the bone becomes. But how is it fair? Because some bones are bigger than others. I mean.
Yeah. Well, they give you a tray that weighs like 3 or 4 kilograms, and then they weigh all the bones again, so they know exactly how much you weigh. So and I have a really good technique. I strip the bone pretty good, and then hot dogs, 4th of July, biggest contest of the year.
Yeah,
that's probably my favorite.
Yeah, no, I mean I've genuinely watched that competition that I've just seen you. I try and put 2 and 2 together. You do look different.
He's lost weight.
Yeah, you do look
good.
Yeah, he looks way better.
Good.
Yeah, but he's eating 70 hot dogs.
Bloated.
Yeah, he's eating 70 hot dogs.
Hasn't eaten for 4 weeks.
Cundy, you've got some hot dogs, right?
I'm telling you now, right? I've got hot dogs here, right?
If he was he's got a couple of hot dogs, right? Joey,
can you see us, bud?
Yeah. Those look like they're boiled. Oh, or microwave.
No, they're cold.
They look gnarly.
They're cold.
Yeah, but if he was gonna stick one down his throat, is there like a way to get the throat wide? Big?
It's just practice.
Just swallow?
Jesus, Jay.
You got to time yourself and practice, count how many chews and bite, how many swallows it takes. Just a lot of it. It's like running. You don't want to go out too hard in the beginning. No. If you're a marathon runner, you pace yourself and you try to just find that rhythm.
Jay, put one down in front.
Well, let me tell you now. Right, you
don't want to choke. That you got to make sure you have water.
Joey,
we've got water.
Joey, I'm happy to do. Everything. It's like they come out the freezer. I'm not. No, that's not going to help. I need a microwave. There is no. That is who's come up with this? Seriously, right? I said I'll do it. That is stone. Touch it.
Just eat it, mate. What's the matter with you? Come on, you had the world's hottest curry the other day.
Put it in your mouth.
What am I doing?
Well,
I can't believe what I'm going to eat.
You've got the greatest competitive eater on at all time. He wants to see you put a hot dog down your throat.
Joey, can you see me?
Yeah, I see him. Yeah, I see you now.
But the art form is to eat the hot dog first and then dip the bun in.
It's not cooked.
No, the hot dog's cooked. Of course it's cooked. It's just gone cold. It's still cooked. Just like that.
Right, what am I doing, Joe? Give me some techniques.
All right, you competition mode?
Competition mode.
Of course, competition mode. Go on.
All right, this is competition. Take the meat out.
What do you mean?
Separate the meat and bun.
Yeah, you have the meat out the bun, and, and the hot dog goes straight down your throat.
It's not competition mode.
All right. You're not doing competition. All right, you're doing.
So hold on. So here's what you're saying. You take the.
And that goes straight down your throat. Yeah.
All right, you got to chew it up. Yeah, you don't want to choke on it.
No, and then I eat the bun after.
And then you
And that doesn't sound
bun
fair.
In water.
No,
I know it's gross.
No, that's.
Let's start the clock.
Competition.
Right, here we go. Ready?
Ready? Go on.
All right, go for it. All right, he's
struggling.
Yeah, you got to use a little bit of water.
Oh, struggling. It's disgusting.
Then go get it down you. You got to get it in you.
Keep going.
Come on.
No talking, more eating. Come on, get it down.
He's struggling, Joey.
Close your eyes and swallow it.
Dip it in the water. Come on. Last bit. Got it in you.
Come on, last bit. Get the bun. Get the buns wet.
Get the bun wet.
Oh yeah.
Oh God. Oh, Joey. That's a tough gig. He does that. Hold on. He does that in 10 minutes. He does 76 of them. No, Cundy's in bits.
No, your jaws start to get tired.
What was that? How you feeling?
My jaw's killing me.
Oh dear, Joey. Like in America, right? Look, you guys are wild out there with food competitions and stuff like that. Is this a full-on job for you?
For me, I wouldn't call it a job, but it's my full-time gig.
It's a full-time gig, right? You don't do anything else.
Yeah. I travel all over the place. The next weekend I'll be going to California, and the week after that I go to Michigan.
You can keep that job.
So I have a pretty good deal.
Yeah, good luck,
travel. Yeah,
it's amazing. You're right, Jace. No. Was that harder than the world's hottest curry?
Bits of my teeth.
Yeah.
Who brought me to it?
Is there anyone who can compete with you, Joey? Because I mean, you say 76. I see the other one was like 50. Do you have like a rivalry?
I think second was in the 40s. I don't.
Don't get it right.
All right, so you're miles. You're miles in front, right?
I see Joey's offended there. Look.
Yeah, not in hot dogs. Hot dogs, I got it on lockdown right now.
Joey, can I just say something, please, mate? So
there are some food like where it's really close. Chicken wings. It could be anybody's contest.
Joey, taking the hot dog out the bum. It feels like it's cheating, mate.
It's not cheating. It's like you have to eat both of them. How is it cheating?
It's competition mode.
I know, because I've just done it, right? What I just done is harder than what you do.
He's in competition mode. That's like 6 of them.
Like a tennis player saying, "Oh, I'm wearing pants," or "I'm wearing." So it's what I did is harder. You make it the fastest, most efficient way to do it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. It's amazing. What do you do? Beer? You do beer?
Oh yeah, I can time travel.
Because I see a guy on the Instagram who was going viral the other day. He was just like one goal gone. These beers, no one could even get near him. But I'm guessing the way that you can put a hot dog down your throat.
I met that guy, Ronnie Joyce.
That's it. Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, he made. I blacked out.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah, we had a good night.
Hot dogs and beers.
Doesn't imagine going home when I'm looking for a hot dog on the way home just to.
Yeah. What's your favourite food to eat?
Oh, I get cravings. Yeah, I mean it's not like marriage. You don't have to be married to one food. I get cravings for tacos. I get cravings for prime rib. I like a good steak.
Yeah.
What about burgers, Joey?
I love a
Yeah, I mean,
good burgers.
There must be a world record, right?
Yeah, he's done 32 burgers in 38 minutes. Big Macs.
Yeah, I have a couple different burger records.
What, the Big Mac?
Big Mac.
How many?
32.
Yeah, that's Big Mac.
Are you the world record holder for that?
No, somebody broke that record. I'll get that record back one of these days.
32 burgers in 38 minutes.
So what's the world record now?
I think somebody did like 35 burgers, but it took like an hour. So one of these days I want to do a 40 burgers in 40 minutes.
What's the ultimate record that you want? Is there one where you go, that's the one I'm going to get?
Oh my god! Well, I think hot dogs. I think I'm going to top out right about 80 hot dogs on the 4th of July. That's kind of the goal there.
What's the big one?
There's certain foods that I want to hold records. I want to go to Japan, make a ridiculous sushi record, and so I'd like Indian food. Oh, I get some curry. I want to kind of travel and just dominate some other foods.
Does everyone just give you free food when you knock about America? Like, did they just you come in there like just want to try and fill you up?
The world is so stupid. The guy who eats the most gets the most for free.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Yeah, the richest people get all the freebies.
Yeah.
The chefs are like, they're used to like bringing out celebrities' food and people take one bite, but like the chef bring me the food and they're so happy I eat all of it. So it's a good deal.
Yeah. Joey, where can we find you if people want to follow you? Instagram and stuff.
Yeah, I'm a little bit on Instagram, not too much. Joey Chestnut on Instagram, Joey Jaws on X.
Joey Jaws.
That's a great nickname.
That's a great name.
It's decent.
Yeah.
Joey, next time you do the burger, next time you're going to break a world record, will you make sure you come on before and after for us?
I'll reach out. I'll let you guys know. I want to go out to London. You guys
come in the studio, Joey.
Yeah, when you're over here, come in the studio, mate. If there's some big competitions.
Do a world record in the studio.
Yeah.
That'd be rad.
Yeah. Joey, you're a star, mate. I appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, Joe.
Great talking to you guys.
All right. Top man, Joey Chestnut there. You struggling on the old hot dog?
Yeah, I mean, in fact, it was just out the tin or whatever it was and cold. That wasn't pleasant, mate.
No, it did look great, but it's funny. Right, we're going to be joined by transfer guru Ben Jacobs. He's coming up next. listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. It's now time to take a look at the latest transfers for talkSPORT Bet. To take us through all the latest transfer news, we are going to speak to Ben Jacobs. All right, Ben.
Ready, boy?
Good evening, gents. How are you? Guess what? I'm on my way to Yankee Stadium.
Amazing.
How are you? Yankees against the Mariners.
Amazing. Enjoying yourself out in the States. Like,
working hard, Ben.
Yeah,
Good
working hard, grafting away, yeah. Fair play. Look, I've got to get into it straight away, Ben. I'm so happy if this gets over the line. Morgan Gibbs-White. We've triggered his 60 million release clause. Is this going to be a done deal?
Yeah, it's looking that way. So there's £60 million release clause, and Spurs have stated that they are planning to trigger it. And now it's just a case of formalities. Morgan Gibbs-White is expected to undergo a medical tomorrow. So this one is basically a done deal, and done very fast as well by Tottenham. So they've now spent £115 million on Haaaaas plus Gibbs-White in the space of 48 hours. Haaaaas has already passed his medical from West Ham United, 55 million, and now Gibbs-White to join for 60 million. So this is Spurs spending their Champions League money, and some sources feel it's also Spurs spending a little bit of investment on the horizon that is shortly set to be officially announced at the club.
Well, I mean, all the Spurs fans giving Chelsea fans stick to spend all the money. Oh, you got to win trophies. Let's see what they do. Another player that could be joining Spurs. I mean, honestly, it feels like Christmas then. Wissa is the latest one that could be joining. What's the news on that?
Yeah, it feels like there's a big gulf in valuation between Nottingham Forest and Wissa. The Spurs' interest was genuine, but of course they've added Gibbs-White and Haaaaas, so I think it's very unlikely that they'll pursue their interest in Johan Wissa. There's actually Nottingham Forest who are trying for Wissa at the moment. Brentford don't want to lose Mbumo and Wissa in the same window. They value Wissa at £50 million, even though he's only got 12 months left on his contract. So it'll be interesting to see if anything develops there. Forest are obviously able to offer him some form of European football. We'll find out exactly what form once we finally get that Crystal Palace verdict, either Conference League or Europa League, if they do get upgraded. But there's genuine interest, and I expect Nottingham Forest to spend the Morgan Gibbs-White money relatively quickly, and now we have to understand whether or not that gulf in valuation can be bridged. And if not, and Mbumo goes to Manchester United, there's maybe a fair chance that Wissa still stays at Brentford.
Okay. What about Garnacho? He's obviously done at Manchester United. They want him out the door. Who's in for him?
Yeah, Alejandro Garnacho would prefer to stay in the Premier League. That's my understanding. Aston Villa could be one to watch, especially now we're into the new financial year and they're feeling PSR compliant. I'm not expecting Chelsea to return. Garnacho is more open to a Premier League move than going, for example, to Napoli, and at the moment they've not made a bid for Garnacho. Manchester United are still looking for a number in the region of £60 million, and that might seem a little bit high to suitors, but if you think of Elanga at 55, Noni Madueke is about to join Arsenal for 52 million, Brian Mbumo between 62 and 65, Mateus Cunha at 62.5 million. So I think Manchester United are well within their rights to ask for that kind of asking price. The challenge for Villa is not so much if they can find that outlay now we're into a new financial year, it's just the wage and the overall package. So Garnacho is waiting to see if he gets a Premier League option, and Napoli at the moment have called their interest.
Gyökeres is linked, as always, with a number of clubs. What's the latest with him? Where's he headed?
Victor Gyökeres and Arsenal remain in advanced talks, but there's been no improved bid since Sunday. That's not to say the deal won't happen, because there's optimism, but we've got a little bit of a stalemate where Andrea Berta's making Sporting sweat before potentially tabling another bid. The last Arsenal offer wasn't too far off 80 million euros, but the guaranteed part of the fee was only 65 million euros. And Sporting have retorted with a counter offer, to my understanding, made late on Sunday night. 70 million euros up front, 10 million in add-ons. Now, if Arsenal meet that package, presuming the payment terms are acceptable, the deal gets done, and Gyökeres is waiting and refusing to train. Sporting are aware of that and to some extent respectful of it, but he is seeing whether or not in the next kind of hours or days he gets permission to undergo an Arsenal medical. And at this stage, even though he's not turned down Manchester United, Gyökeres only has eyes on Arsenal. So it's all just about whether Arsenal meet the asking price or whether, given the tension around Gyökeres's future, Sporting finally cave. But there's no full agreement yet. It could come soon, but Sporting are waiting to see whether Arsenal place that new formal bid. And at the time we're live, they haven't done yet.
And just lastly, Brian Mbeumo, Man United still after him. They can't get the deal over the line. What's taking so long?
Yeah, I think Manchester United are just being disciplined, and Brentford are maybe playing a few games. First of all, we have pressure because Wissa is of interest to other clubs, and I still don't expect it to be a scenario where Wissa and Mbeumo both leave Manchester United in the same window. So maybe that puts a little bit of pressure on Manchester United. And previously, of course, we've been told that Spurs tabled a bid for Mbeumo at 70 million. That's not my understanding. It's denied by Spurs sources. And you would think if that bid did exist, it would have been accepted. But these are games by Brentford to try and get Manchester United to go higher. And I tell you something, under previous ownership, they probably would have done. And this might be a 65 to 70 million deal. But Jason Wilcox, I think, is making a statement at the beginning of the window and saying he's not going to go above either 65 or even 62.5 million, which means that the clubs are either going to have to find a structure in that ballpark, or Manchester United would, in theory, be prepared to walk away. Now, I'm not doomsdaying, and I've got no information that that is their next step at this stage. But if it isn't resolved soon, then Manchester United are prepared to look at other targets instead. But I think the more likely scenario is finally the clubs will meet somewhere halfway, and I still anticipate this Mbeumo to Manchester United deal to get done, and hopefully from Manchester United's perspective before their pre-season tour of America begins.
Okay. Ben, enjoy the game.
Cheers, Benny boy. Take care.
Cheers, guys.
All right, take care. Ben Jacobs there. That was a look at the latest action. Thanks to talkSPORT Bet. Terms and conditions apply. 18+, begambler.org.
Bring it on with talkSPORT Bet. Stay on the ball with our safer gambling tools. Find out more at talksportbet.com. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Right, we're going to do back pages next. Plus, we're going to do a midnight train. Help us out. 03717 223344. into the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Me, Jamie O'Hara, and Jason Cundy. We're still going to do rest of talkSPORT. That's coming up as well. But first, time for Back Pages.
JC!
Jack Cunningham joins us. Hi, Jack.
Here he is.
Evening, lads. How you doing?
I'm all right, matey. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad at all, to be fair.
Yeah.
Starting to get used to the heat now, so...
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Settling in it. It's going to be here until next week, so...
It's hot, matey. It is hot. Look, loads of back pages. The big one, we just spoke to Ben Jacobs about it. Spurs closing on 60 million. Gibbs White's on the back page of the Times. This is a great move from Tottenham.
Yeah, I think it is. And you know what's mad about it? The speed that it's happened. Like, if we go back to the Club World Cup transfer window, talkSPORT understood that Nottingham Forest put a £100 million price tag on Morgan Gibbs White. And that was why Manchester City walked away. So it seems like no one knew about this release clause. I don't know if it came into it's only just activated or whatever. I'm sure we'll find out a bit more about it once the deal goes through. But it has just come out of nowhere. It was reported today. It was like, oh, yeah, Spurs are interested in Gibbs White. And then within 3 hours, it was like, oh, he's having a medical tomorrow. So fair play to Tottenham for getting that deal done so quickly. And then with Mohamed Kudus as well, you know, really backing Thomas Frank. And I think with Gibbs White, I think if you look at Forest and how they played, I mean, everything went through him.
Yeah.
Like, basically, he was
the best player.
Do you know what I mean? He was the main man.
Yeah.
Like, the way they play on the counter-attack, everything, it all went through Morgan Gibbs White. And I mean... if you look at what he could do in this Tottenham team with Thomas Frank, I think Frank's looking for a more athletic number 10.
Yeah.
And I think Morgan Gibbs White fits that profile.
Yeah, I think that maybe puts Madison, it pushes him down the pecking order a little bit, you know.
I was going to say, I think I do, but looking at it now, you know, you've got Kulusevski can play as a 10. You've got Madison that can play as a 10. However, Kulusevski can play in numerous other positions as well.
He can.
Madison can't,
really.
No,
he can't.
Hasn't got the legs to play in centre midfield, does he? You know, when he plays there, gets overran. He looks a bit overwhelmed, to be honest.
I'm really interested to see where he puts, because Kulusevski's a good player.
He is a great player.
When he's fit and he's on it, he's really good. So, you know, do you play Kudus on the left, and you know, Kulusevski on the right, Morgan Gibbs White, Solanke? That in my head probably is how you would start. But Kudus, look, he can play on the right as well. He can play number 10. It's interesting. Look, it's a good problem to have. We've got a lot of games. Nottingham Forest must be gutted.
Yeah.
They've lost Langer and Morgan Gibbs White.
And you know what's strange about it? Obviously, I'm delighted that Alanga's joining Newcastle, but why have they sold Alanga to Newcastle if they knew Gibbs White had this release clause?
Yeah.
Like, why would you let...
Maybe PSR,
if you know that there's a possibility of Gibbs White going,
no, the PSR,
why would you then let
some
him
clubs
go?
struggle. I think
they are in... I think they've had problems.
It does. It makes you wonder, and this is why PSR is such a load of BS. Because, you know, why should Forest have to sell their best players? It makes no sense to me. And I'll bang that drum many times. We'll see how this plays.
Genuinely, but it is such a shame because Forest, you know, had their best season they've had in the Premier League for years, getting to Europe.
I know.
And they've got to sell everyone.
I feel their frustration. Ben's Bug says the back page of the Sun. This is about Ben Stokes.
Yeah, so obviously the third test of England v India started today 1-1 after India absolutely thrashed England last time out. England won the toss and decided to bat, which got like a load of ironic cheers because every other time they've been bowling, and the last time it turned into a shambolic decision. But anyway, England have done okay. They managed to see off and get to 250 odd for 4. But the main issue is that Ben Stokes looks like he's injured himself. He was in a load of pain. He's still batting. He's a player who's he'll get dragged off the pitch before, you know, he'd seek medical attention. But he looked in a lot of pain. He was... You know, he was a bit unhappy. There was at some point some ladybugs came on and stopped the game. That annoyed him as well. I mean, that was weird. But then ultimately it looks like it's calf injury or groin injury potentially. We're not entirely sure what. He should be at the bat tomorrow, which is fine. Right. But the main issue is for bowling because Stokes has come back and he's been back to his best in bowling. He's a player who, when he's on his game, can take wickets out of nowhere. And, you know, he's coming up to Freddie Flintoff's record. He's close to compassion to Steve Harmison as well for test wickets. So if he can't bowl, England are a bit of trouble because they've got Jofra Archer back in the team, but Archer's not bowled since February 2021 in test cricket, I believe. So you're putting a lot of pressure on Jofra Archer there. So, and then the other lads, Chris Wokes is very experienced, but he's had a poor series so far, and Bryden Carse is also a bit inexperienced as well. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But it could turn out to be a really pivotal point in the series, and also looking ahead to the Ashes as well. If Ben Stokes can't bowl in Australia, England are in a lot of trouble. So we'll have to see how that goes.
Okay. Back page of the Telegraph. Christian Horner's 50 million payoff talks.
Yeah, so obviously, we spoke about this last night, didn't we? Christian Horner has been sacked by Red Bull. Now, it looks like he could get between 50 and 60 million pounds in compensation. This is because he had 5.5 years left on his contract, and he was on roughly £8 million a year. So now they're in negotiations with his lawyers, etc., to see what he's going to take from this sacking, essentially. And if his lawyers push for it, he could get 50 to 60 million pounds. And well, I suppose that'd make him feel a lot better about what's happened.
I don't know if it will, because I don't think he's struggling for dough, is he? I mean, I think he genuinely loved working for Red Bull. Like, I think he genuinely loved the moment. So, I mean, obviously 50 million is 50 million, but these boys are on so much money anyway. Money's nothing to them.
Yeah. I suppose what you're saying, you are right there, because look, he's already on 8 million a year, so like he's got plenty of money. So it is more the case of he's lost his job. And again, I still find it interesting. We still don't know why. I mean, I thought we might have found out a little bit more today, but there's still nothing. So it'll be interesting when we eventually get to find out exactly why they got rid of Christian Horner. But I mean, it's again, I do think it's just more that they decided to keep Max Verstappen over Christian Horner. I just think that's what it was.
Back page of the Telegraph again. Farrell named on bench for final Lions warm-up.
Yeah, so obviously Owen Farrell got called up by his dad. It was quite a controversial decision anyway to get him back into the team, because I think he doesn't play in England anymore. So it was a bit controversial, and he's come back in, and for the last warm-up game, he's going to be on the bench. So tomorrow, the Lions are playing like a mixed Australian and New Zealand 11. Sorry, not tomorrow, on Saturday. Playing a mixed New Zealand and Australia 15 before they play the tests against Australia. And so this is like the final chance, basically, for all the players in the team to basically establish their place in the side and see if they can play in the test. So, because that's all it's about, all these games is warm-ups leading up to that point. So, Owen Farrell might get a bit of time off the bench, but it looks like he's probably not going to be involved, to be honest.
And just lastly, Jack, what's the latest across the talkSPORT website?
Yeah, so obviously we've got Madueke going to Arsenal from Chelsea, £52 million deal. Looks to be agreed. He's already agreed personal terms as well. What's weird about this is that he might still play the World Cup final. I might still be involved in that, because Chelsea have not given him permission to have his medical yet. I find that, I don't know, I get it. I do get it, because Maresca probably want everyone available for a game against PSG.
He come off the bench the other night.
Has played.
Come off the bench the other morning, sorry. So he had a part to play in the semi-final.
Exactly. So he had a part to play, didn't he? So I do get it. I think I would be surprised if Arsenal won't try and push it through early, because if he picks up an injury or something, which is possible.
For both sides and him,
Yeah, exactly. So we'll have to see what happens there. But I mean, another thing is, this makes it £115 million Arsenal have spent on Havertz and Madueke to Chelsea, and they're basically just funding Chelsea's transfer business.
They are a bit, to be fair, yeah.
That's literally what they're doing. And I think Arsenal fans are a bit confused with Madueke.
Getting the ump about it.
They are. You know what? It's actually a disgrace. He's had to turn off his Instagram comments because he was getting abuse from Arsenal fans, and there's a petition online, an online petition to get Madueke not to join Arsenal.
That's poor. That's a strange decision. I mean,
it's just poor, isn't it?
He's a good player. He's a good player.
Who's signing that?
He is a good player. He'll do well at Arsenal.
All right, Jack, you're a star, mate. Thank you.
No worries, lads. I'll catch you next week. Yeah.
Right, those are your back pages. Right, we're going to be joined by former British tennis player Barry Cohen ahead of a huge weekend to come at Wimbledon. We're going to do the rest of talkSPORT as well tonight. You're listening to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. We're talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT Bet app today. 18+. Begin Red Dog.